up, everyone? It's me, Stef, the alternate, your nerdy alternative. Hopefully, the connection is fine. I'm here currently on holiday in Gran Canaria at the moment, and only Hazza could interrupt my vacation time because breaking news, the verdict is literally coming in as we speak. I'm literally watching it on my phone right now, so let's find out. Has he won his appeal or not? Hopefully he's not. Let me know in the live chat what you think. Do you think Hazza has won his appeal for UK security or not? Now bear in mind, he still gets UK security. He just has to appeal to Ravik like 28 days before he comes to the UK, so that Ravik can then decide what level of security that he needs and the plan and everything else, right? So him trying to make out, as far as I'm concerned, that he doesn't get any security whatsoever and it's so dangerous to visit the UK is completely false, completely a lie as far as I'm concerned, as far as a lot of you guys are concerned as well. So yeah, let's find out what's going on right now.
Thirdly, the decision was explained in contemporaneous documentation.
Hopefully you can hear this as well as I'm playing it.
The Risk Management Board would not undertake further risk analyses for the Duke of Sussex because they were no longer required, given the alternative governance arrangements that were to be established on a case-by-case basis for the future. Sir Richard had, however, obtained 3 threat assessments for the Duke of Sussex during February 2020 before writing the decision letter.
Okay.
Fourthly, Sir Richard and Ravik had given compelling reasons for having reached the conclusion that the appropriate course was to establish bespoke arrangements for when the Duke returned to the United Kingdom on future visits. The Duke was in effect stepping in and out of the cohort of protection provided by Ravik.
Yeah, so he's going in and out.
Outside the UK, he was outside the cohort.
Yeah, so outside of the
But
UK, he's outside of Ravik.
His security would be considered as appropriate depending on the circumstances. It was impossible, I said in my judgment, to say that this reasoning was illogical or inappropriate. Indeed, it seemed sensible. Finally, even if there had been a risk analysis from the Risk Management Board, it would very likely have only confirmed the threat, vulnerability and impact levels which the Duke had faced when earlier risk analyses were undertaken.
So the judge is recognising the risk analysis that was done.
Features of the changed situation, which were the need for protective security on future uncertain visits and the government's appetite for risk. The decisions taken in the decision letter and subsequently
so he's saying that Ravik took into account the appetite risk.
An understandable and perhaps predictable reaction to the Duke of Sussex having stepped back from royal duties and having left the UK to live principally overseas. So the conclusion, in my judgment, with which my colleagues, Lord Justices Bean and Edis, agreed, was that the Duke of Sussex's appeal would be dismissed.
Yes!
Concludes this afternoon's hearing.
Oh yes! Oh yes! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Wow! Prince Harry's appeal has just been dismissed. Yes! This is the best news we could have ever had. His appeal has been dismissed. He has been denied. He is not getting the level of UK security that he wants. He can piss off, because our UK taxpayer money, we ain't wasting any more UK taxpayer money on that freaking grifter and his wife and his kids. No freaking way. If you don't want to come to UK, fine. We don't want him here anyway, as far as we're concerned. He can freaking stay in America. Yes! Oh my goodness! Yes, yes, yes. Okay, just give me a moment. Let me have a look. Hang on a minute. Prince Harry. I'm just going to just amend the title because now the verdict's in. Okay. Wow. Oh my goodness. It's over for him. It's totally over. That is it. That is it. It's over, guys. Like, I can't imagine him going any further with this now. Like, I really can't. Like, it is done for this dude now. Absolutely freaking done. I'm going to get to your comments in a moment. I'm just changing the title, but also as well the thumbnail so it adequately describes what we're talking about now. Oh my goodness, he has lost. That is it. That is done. His appeal is over. Hopefully you guys just heard what I heard with the appeals judge handing down his verdict. This could, oh my goodness. I hoped this was going to be the case. I hoped that he was going to lose his appeal and it was just going to be game over for Prince Hazard. However, there was just a little bit of me thinking, do you know what? He might freaking get away with this. Or there might be some kind of compromise between Hazard and Ravik. But this is the thing, right? At the end of the day, it came down to this as far as I'm concerned. When I was watching the appeal as it was happening a couple of weeks ago, for me, Hazard's appeal team didn't actually mount up a great argument. All they were doing, as far as I was concerned, is making the argument as to why he needed the security in the first place, or the level of security he thought was appropriate, right? What they didn't do successfully, or even attempt as far as I was concerned, was try to explain how the lower court judges made a mistake in their decision. How there was a judicial mistake made that tampered or clouded their judgment in the first place. To me, they didn't make that argument. They didn't even attempt, as far as I'm concerned, to make that argument. So the appeals judge right now turning around and saying the appeal is dismissed, piss off Prince Hazard. I'm like, and I'll tell you something right now. I'm at my hotel at the moment. I was literally, guys, you have no idea, about an hour ago, I was on the beach, sunbathing, reading my book, chilling out, and I was just checking my phone because last night I got a little bit of a warning that the verdict was going to come in today. So I thought, okay, let me kind of periodically check my phone whilst I'm on the beach, and then all of a sudden it was like, right, verdict's going to be coming in at 2 o'clock. I'm like, shit, I better pack up and get back to my hotel and break this news live to all of you guys. Guys, what are you saying? Let's have a look. Now, please bear in mind, I'm on my mobile studio right now, so usually your comments would come up as I'm reading them out, but I don't have that facility because I've got my mobile studio, so please bear with me. But let's see what you guys are saying in the live chat. Please let me know, do you agree with the ruling or disagree with the ruling? If you agree with the ruling, why? Do you disagree with the ruling? Tell me why. Let me know in the live chat. Let me have a look. Ozian 2025 is saying it's buffering. Apologies for that. I'm having to use my mobile phone Wi-Fi, mobile phone signal at the moment because the Wi-Fi here in the hotel is down. Spain, unfortunately, and Portugal have suffered some kind of atmospheric kind of anomaly that's kind of shorted out a lot of the electrical stuff in the country and the surrounding territories. So yeah, please bear with me. I'm using literally my mobile signal at the moment. This is how dedicated I am to bringing this breaking news to you guys. So please, I hope you appreciate that. Chris Mills is saying victory for common sense. I would say so. I would say so. Let me see. Channel name says fantastic news. Love from America. Sergeant Harrison is in. Hey up, Sarge. How's it going, my love? Deborah, so glad he's lost. It's a great day for the United Kingdom. It is a really great day. But also, it's a great day for the whole entire world. Why? Because there was always that theory that the real reason why he was going for all of this was for him and Megxi to get IPP status, internationally protected person status. And if he got that, that would mean that he would get taxpayer funded security anywhere in the world. So in America, you Americans, via your own taxes, would pay for Hazza and Megsy's security. If they went to somewhere in Africa, Asia, same thing. The taxpayers there would have to fork out for their security as they visited. The fact of the matter is, they ain't gonna get it now because the appeal judge has just turned around and said, piss off, you cowbag to Hazza. The appeal has been denied. It has been dismissed. This is the best news ever, 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 ever. Deborah says, so glad he's lost. It's a great day for the United Kingdom. Yes, it is. Let me see. Carol says your sunglasses are chic. Well, thank you. Thank you very, very much. I got them. Where did I get them now? I think I got them in America. Yeah, they're Tom Fords, and I got them in America. I remember that one. Let's see what else. Chicky says, good luck taxpayers in the UK. What about him walking around in the US? Now, my understanding is that him and Megsy pay for their own private security in the US. They didn't initially, but they are doing now. That's my understanding of it all. So, I don't know. Marie B says, maybe Prince Hazza should get a job. Well, technically, he does have a job on paper, which is that BetterHelp kind of job of whatever the frick he's doing there, Chief Impact Officer or whatever the frick it is. And I say it's only on paper because everyone that's left BetterHelp has turned around and said, yeah, Prince Hazza works here, but we don't have a freaking clue what he actually does. And technically, Hazza needs to have a job to be able to get, I think, most visas in the US. So make of that as you will, guys. Jules Bruegel says, save taxpayers' money. Yes, I know. This is amazing. Carol says, it sounds like the court is recognising the Home Office and the Ravic logic. Yeah, so as I was playing it, hopefully you guys could hear the judges saying what they were saying. And yeah, they were talking about, all the risk assessments that they had done and the reviews and the way that they got to all of that. Yeah, it does look like that they took it all into account. And even the judge was turning around and saying, Hazza's going in and out of the security that Ravic can provide. So even there, I think, as far as I'm concerned, the judge is recognising that as Ravic, as the Home Office was trying to argue during the appeal, that this was exceptional circumstances. And so they had to come up with an exceptional solution for the situation, right? Because it was unprecedented Hazza and Megsy leaving the royal family. Completely unprecedented, right? And so the Home Office had to think, okay, well, think about it. It's an unprecedented situation. We don't really have anything in place to deal with this unprecedented situation. So let's still follow our policies and procedures, but come up with an extraordinary solution for an extraordinary situation. I don't see anything wrong with that. I really, really don't. Let me see. Lisa Love says, another great verdict from a UK court. I know, right? Hazza's lost. But also Megsy's lost as well, guys. Let's be clear on this. Megsy's pushing for this just as much as Hazza, right? Because Megsy's all about, I need my security. I need my security. I'm not safe. Blah, 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 blah. Because where the hell do you think Hazza got it from? When he turned around like a year or so ago, right? And said, you know what? I'm afraid to take my wife and the kids to the UK because, I'm afraid that my wife might get attacked by a knife or might get an acid attack. Where do you think he really got that from? I mean, come on. Come on. Megsy's been pushing for this just as much as Hazza, right? If not more. Megsy's lost more than Hazza as far as I'm concerned. Do you see where I'm coming from here? Mary Marr says, thanks for the stream. You're very, very welcome. And for anyone that doesn't know, that's just tuning in right now, I am streaming live all the way in Gran Canaria from my hotel. Please forgive the kind of look of the channel right now, maybe a little bit of my audio and the visuals. I'm using my mobile studio right now, so it's not as good quality as when I'm proper in studio, but it'll do, okay? Because this is absolutely massive, major news. Let's see, Emily Cheatham says, I thought he wouldn't win. Yeah, this is the thing, right? Watching the appeal as it was happening. To me, it was like, I can't see how he can win, because they were arguing all day long why he should have this level of security he thinks he's entitled to. What they didn't argue, or didn't even attempt to, as far as I'm concerned, is how the lower judges made a mistake in their previous ruling to deny him this security. They didn't even attempt, as far as I'm concerned, to make that argument. So for me, it's like, well, they're just wasting time here, and they're making the argument as to why you should have the security, rather than how the judges made a mistake to their ruling to deny him the security in the first place. As such, because they didn't even make that attempt, the appeal judge should just turn around and say, piss off, you cowbag. And that's exactly what he's done within the last hour. Guys, breaking news for those that are tuning in right now. Prince has lost his UK security case. It is going to stay exactly as it is. 28 days before he comes to UK, he needs to appeal to RAVEC, tell them where he's going, what he's doing, this, that and the other, so they can devise an appropriate level of security arrangement for him whilst he's in the UK. Whether it's him on his own or with Megzy and the kids, it don't matter. He has lost big time. But not only him, Megzy as well, because I'll tell you something behind the scenes, Megzy's been pushing for this. Best believe, as far as I'm concerned. Lady Sophie of Hogan Manor says, now send them to Wonder. Well, you know, Megzy might like that, you know. Try to be like, look at me being all, what is it, charitable, this, that and the other. Yeah, all right. Tony Palmer says, has he got the money to pay his legal team? You know, this is the thing, right? He's got so many court cases ongoing. You got to think to yourself, when is it going to be the moment where he thinks, you know what, money's running out, screw this? Because the only people that are winning at this point are his legal team. He's not winning anything. He's winning shit, guys. He really, really is. Sheila P says, thank goodness for that. Hey, Valerie Mason says, brilliant news. Jacqueline Robinson says, fantastic news. I echo all of that. I'm getting messages from your favourite DC lawyer, John Witherspoon. Let me just see if I can read any of them out. Let me have a look. Hang on. Right. Okay, I'm just asking John's permission to be able to read out the message he's just sent me, and if he's got any other thoughts and reactions that I can read out to you guys. So I'm just double checking that right now. Oh, he's online. So, right, yep, and he's typing, so we'll hear from him soon enough. Let's see what else you guys are saying. This is amazing. Darlene Harrigan, finally, somebody with some sense. The thing is, though, you say finally somebody with some sense, but the thing is, Hazza has been denied every step of the way. This is why it's got to the appeal, because he's been turning round. And he's been saying, I need the security, I need the security, I need the security. And every single judge has turned around and said, nope, 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 nope. And big, massive nope. Big, massive? I don't even know what that word is. Anyway, big, massive no. So every single judge along the way on this trip has had common sense and turned around and said, piss off, you cowbag, Hazza, you're not getting this security. This is why it's got to the appeal. And thank goodness the appeal judges have the same common sense as all the other judges beforehand. Do you know what I mean, guys? Now, if you bear with me one moment, it looks like my battery is just about to go. I'm just going to get my laptop battery and plug it all in. So bear with me one moment, and I will come back with John Witherspoon's reactions, because, yep, he's giving me them right now, and I'll read more of your comments. Just 2 seconds. You're going to have a little bit of a lovely kind of view, hopefully, of a little bit of Gran Canaria. One moment, guys. Right, okay, you guys. Let's go and see what John Witherspoon is saying, your favourite DC lawyer. Oh my goodness, this is absolutely insane what's going on here. So, John Witherspoon is turning around and saying, the wording is epic. The Duke's, quote, the Duke's sense of grievance does not translate into a legal argument. In other words, go cry in another corner. Oh my goodness, this is insane, guys, it's insane. he also says, oh yeah, you can also say everyone gets nervous waiting for court decisions, but I think everyone except Harry viewed this as an uphill fight that would result in a loss for Harry. It appears the decision was unanimous 3-0. Harry can get protection, but he just has to make a phone call or send an email first. It seems that was too great a burden for Harry's ego to bear. The judge also said that a further risk assessment that Harry demanded would have only confirmed what earlier assessments had concluded. So here he's saying, look, you know, in a nutshell, the wording's epic. The judge is basically turning around and saying, go cry in another corner, you cowbag. It's not happening. Piss off. Saying, look, everyone, regardless who you are, gets nervous before a court makes the decision. But everyone saw this as an uphill fight. Harry was the only one that was deluded. I would also put in there that Megxie was also deluded as well, because like I said earlier on, Megxie's pushed this just as much as Hazard, if nothing much more than Harry as far as I'm concerned. She's pushed this more than Hazard, right? Because she's the one that's all about, oh, my security, my security, my security. Remember when Hazard turned around and says, I don't like to go to UK with Megxie and the family because I'm afraid that Megxie would get attacked by knife or have an acid attack. Who do you think put that into his head? I mean, let's be real here, right? So I think Megxie wanted this more than Hazard. She pushed this more than Hazard, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. So who's really lost big time? Well, Hazard's lost, of course. But really, behind the scenes, do you hear the plates at Montecito smashing right now? Because I know I do. So, yeah, everyone thought this was an uphill fight, except Hazard, and I would also include Megxie in that one. The decision was unanimous, 3-0. So every single judge was like, piss off, you cowbag Hazard. This is insanely good. But yeah, Hazard can still get protection because, like I said earlier on, throughout this whole kit and caboodle, right, Hazard, as far as I'm concerned, has been making out that he gets no protection in the UK whatsoever, that it's totally unsafe. No, he does. He just has to apply to Ravik 28 days beforehand, let him know the plans, where he's going, what he's doing, this, that and the other. And then they set up a security plan that's appropriate to his situation. But, as John was saying, it looks like that was too much of a burden for him, for Harry's ego to bear. It's like, Harry's like, how dare you ask me to apply 28 days beforehand for security, blah, blah, blah. How dare you? Don't you know who I am? Yeah, we know who you are. A ginger freaking whinger as far as I'm concerned. An absolute traitor to your country. Leaving behind your country, your duty. Queen Elizabeth II would turn in her grave. It's insane. So the judge also said that a further risk assessment that Harry demanded would have only confirmed that what earlier assessments had concluded. So, in other words, Harry asking for another assessment, the judge is just turning around there and saying, look, it's a waste of time. You're wasting everyone's time asking for another assessment because at the end of the day, it's going to turn out the same way. You're not going to get the security. It's done and dusted. Piss off. Calm your tits and just be thankful you're getting what you're freaking getting. Because again, if you're to hear Team Harry and Team Sussex, right, you'd think that he don't get any security in the first place, that it's totally dangerous for him to come to the UK, this, that and the other. No, he does get security. It's just too much of a burden for his ego to apply to Ravik 28 days beforehand. I've got another message from John. Just give me a moment. So, put another way, quote, your feelings do not equate to a legal argument. He says there are a lot of people who have trouble grasping this notion, especially in the broader everyday context of your feelings do not alter the facts. There you go. There you go. Proving exactly what I said all along. Harry, during this whole appeal process, has been arguing why he feels he should be getting this security, the level of security he deems is appropriate, this, that and the other, right? What he didn't argue was why the judges were wrong in making the decision in the first place. In other words, how the judges didn't follow the judicial process that led them to come to a wrong decision judicially. They never made that argument. And so judges turn around and says, look, your feelings aren't facts. Covering this pretty much since day dot. And yeah, so happy. If you are experiencing a little bit of a disconnection, that's just OBS. One moment. Okay. Right, okay. So Tina Beebe is turning around and saying, let me have a look here. Let me have a look. Where are you? Tina Bieber's just come in, wanting to know what's going on. Tina, just to confirm, Harry lost. He lost his appeal. The judges turned around and said, piss off, you cowbag. It's not happening. You're not getting the security that you feel you want. You're getting what you're getting. Tough luck. Swallow it. It's over. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Mary Kenny says there's dancing on the streets. Do you know what? There's going to be dancing on the streets in Gran Canaria after this live stream. I can tell you that right now. Carte Blanche says, I'm happy for Canada too. We won't have to pay when they come here again. Exactly, because the underlying theory for this whole fight goes that if he did win, that would be a hop, skip and jump away from him and Megxie getting IPP status, so that no matter where they are in the world, that particular country through their tax would have to pay for their security, i.e. you guys would have to pay for their security, but that's not happening anymore. So yes, I'm so freaking happy. And I apologise for freezing earlier on. That was just OBS Studio. Sorry about that, but we are back online now. Please forgive me if I do freeze every now and then. I'm on holiday at the moment. I'm not even on the hotel's Wi-Fi. The hotel's Wi-Fi is down because of an anomaly in the atmosphere within Spain and the surrounding territories. It's been a bit of a pain, but it is what it is. I'm on my mobile phone internet at the moment streaming this, so this is where we're at. Mic Drop Lisa, thank you so much for the £10 sugar buck, saying happy 10th birthday, Princess Charlotte. One of the best gifts. Exactly. One of the best gifts Prince Asa could inadvertently give Princess Charlotte. I lost my appeal. Taxpayers don't have to pay for the whole full kit and caboodle security anymore. Yes. Oh my goodness, I'm so freaking happy. Christy Owen says he will go to the Court of Human Rights. I swear he will. Well, this is the next thing that I'm going to look into. What happens next for Hazza? Is this it? Is this it? I've got a funny feeling it is. However, you never know. So I am going to be doing some research and find out if there's anywhere else Hazza can go to attempt in a futile way to try and get this overturned, but we'll see. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Michael Mencher says, fascinating, thank you for the information. You're very, very welcome. If you give me one moment, I'm just going to get my external battery because now my mobile phone is brown bag underneath. One moment, thank you. And I'm back. Who knew using my mobile phone as a Wi-Fi would drain my battery on my phone so much? Okay, here we go. All right, so that is now on charge, even better. Hey, guys, if you want to send some sugar bucks my way for a little bit of spending money whilst I'm here in Gran Canaria, please do so. If you appreciate me taking time out of my vacation to go live to bring you this breaking news first here on YouTube, then, yeah, please send some sugar bucks my way if you can, in appreciation. I really appreciate your face, you guys. Let's see what else you guys are saying in the meantime. So Welsh Lass says, does Hazza have to pay all court costs? So I think this is like the next thing that we're going to find out. Does he have to pay for all the court costs or not? Now, he'll need to definitely pay for the court costs when it comes to his side of things, and that will run into the millions. And this is why I said earlier on, ultimately, the biggest winners in all of his court cases that he's got ongoing at the moment is his legal team. Because they're going ka-ching, 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 you know what I mean? But today, the biggest winners, yeah, is his court team, because no matter what, they're getting ka-chinged, you know what I mean? But it's us, the taxpayers, and all of the world where people pay tax. Because again, if he somehow won this court case, this appeal, then it's a hop, skip and jump away from him and Megxie getting IPP status, so that no matter where they are in the freaking world, they were always going to get taxpayer funded security from that particular country. See where I'm coming from? So it's not just the UK citizens that have won. No. It's you guys that are watching everywhere in the world right now. Wherever you are, you guys have won as well. You really, really have. Do you see where I'm coming from? I hope you do. Flapper27, thank you so much for the $20 sugar bucks, saying thanks for the report, Stef. I appreciate it. I had to go live for this, guys. Of course I did. This is why I take my mobile studio with me for times like this where it's breaking news, you can't ignore it, and I have to bring it to you guys. Let's see. The Fool on the Hill says, you need to be human to have human rights. He's a monster. Has someone been watching Life on Mars? I'm just asking. Because there's a similar quote that Gene Hunt says that's similar to that. Human rights are for humans is essentially what he turns around and says. Which, to be fair, I agree with. And so, yeah, let's see what else you guys are saying. Oh, Taz, thank you so much for the $5 sugar buck, saying, how many now believe Meghan is having a breakdown? I hear the China plates breaking. Dude, I hear the plates breaking at Montecito Royale all the way from freaking Gran Canaria, which is where I am at the moment, bringing this report to you guys. Craig Mawson, Stef, you don't need to apologise. Well, thank you so much. I've been apologising for maybe the audio might not be as good quality as you guys are used to. The visuals won't be as good quality as you guys are used to. But it's because I'm on my vacation at the moment. I've brought my mobile studio with me for times like this. But yeah, I really do appreciate you for bearing with me and tuning into this breaking news. Breaking news, Prince Harry, in the last hour, it's been announced by the appeal judges. He has lost. His appeal has been denied. It has been dismissed. Dude is not getting the UK security he wants. He can piss off. But not only him, but Megxie as well. Because as far as I'm concerned, Megxie has lost as well. Megxie, as far as I'm concerned, has pushed this even more than Hazza. She's the one that's really going to have a breakdown on this, not Azza. Because again, think about it. Azza, a year or two ago, turns around and says he doesn't bring Megxie to UK because he's afraid that she's going to get knife attacked or acid attack. Who put that into his head in the first place to say that? Think about it. Think about it, guys. Let's see. Lulu's mum says he may have to pay for the other side's attorney, wasting their time. If he did it in America, he'd pay both. Yeah, so in terms of now the court costs, for sure he has to pay his own side, right? For certain. When it comes to the other side, which is us, the taxpayers, because the Home Office has been using taxpayer money to fight this thing, which I don't have any problem with, right? Fight Hazza all the way, abso-freaking-lutely. However much it takes, fight him all the way. Will the Home Office, the taxpayer, have to bear the full weight of it? Or will Hazza have to pay 100% of our costs or a fraction of it? Do you know what? I might change my mind later on, but in the heat of the moment, as everything is starting to sink in and the enormity of this appeal ruling denying Prince Hazza, as far as I'm concerned, I'm turning around and I'm thinking, do you know what? It's worth it. It's worth it. The hundreds of thousands, millions of pounds that have been poured into this case, right, for the Home Office to successfully fight this thing and fight Hazza to the bitter end. Do you know what? If Hazza doesn't have to pay a penny for the Home Office's legal costs, do you know what? I'm okay with that. I am really, really okay with that. I really, really am. It'd just be a bonus if the judge turns around and says, You've got to pay some at Hazza for the Home Office legal costs as well. It'll be a Brucey bonus. But if the judge turns around and says, no, you pay your costs, Hazza, and the Home Office pays their costs, you know what? I'm okay with that. because it's money well spent. For the Home Office, it's taxpayer money well spent to get to this point where the appeals courts turn around and says, piss off, you cowbag. If the judge turns around and says, Hazza, you need to pay 100%, 50% of the Home Office costs, it's a bonus for me. But to me, I won't be mad if they don't force him to pay any of the legal costs on the Home Office side. Do you see where I'm coming from? I mean, let me know in the live chat, guys. Do you think Hazza should pay any of the Home Office legal costs? Or do you think, like me, it doesn't matter? It's money well spent for the Home Office to get to this point where Hazza's being completely and utterly denied. What do you guys think? Let me know in the live chat. Mr. G, thank you so much for the $20 sugar bucks. Saying greetings from Washington State, USA. Sugar bucks heading your way, Steph. You rock. Thank you so much, Mr. G. You rock too. Appreciate your face, my friend. Let's see. Juanita McDade, thank you for the coverage all the way from Aussie. You're very, very welcome. I'm covering this all the way from Gran Canaria, guys. I've interrupted my holiday to be able to give you this live stream, this breaking news. For those that are tuning in, it has been announced by the appeals judges 3-0. Every single appeal judge freaking agreed. Hazza? Piss off, you cowbag. You ain't getting the UK security you're wanting and you're fighting for. Yes. I'm absolutely loving it, guys. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Susan says, yes, a traitor to resolve family. Meghan slagging our queen off, bowing. That was sad to see the way she did that and how I was just watching disgusting, man. I know. I can't remember, was it Meghan's mole or someone else last night on Twitter? I was just scrolling Twitter and the tweet that I found, it was to the effect of, when Megsy bowed to the Queen when she married Hazza, it was a very short kind of bow that was seen as a little bit disrespectful, right? But then when Megsy bowed to the Queen at her funeral, it was a bow, but you could see like the sole, the under bit of her shoe that she was wearing. And the tweet goes, I think it was Meghan's mole. The tweet goes, and if it's not, I apologise if I'm incorrectly attributing it to someone else. The tweet goes that she only bowed that low so that the cameras could see underneath her shoe to see what shoes that she was wearing to merch them, or something along those lines. And I won't put it past Megsy to do that. I mean, what do you guys think? Let's see. Oh, Kathleen Cooney says the audio's fine. We understand. Thank you. Appreciate it. Maureen Ball says, thanks for taking time out of your holiday to update us. You're very welcome. Saj says, wish us luck. It's our feudal election tomorrow. Good luck. We had our council elections in the UK yesterday. Unfortunately, I wasn't allowed to vote because our council elections weren't even happening. Somehow every 4 years, we don't get a vote, basically, in Yorkshire for some unknown freaking reason. I read it up. It's a process. It's very complicated. I don't know why they get like a 4th year free, but yeah, there you go. But yeah, good luck with your election tomorrow. King Bob, thank you so much for the $2 sugar bucks and the Ginger Doggy Fighting Arts moment. I love it. Thank you so much. Blue skies forever. If you watch a video when you're outside, you may wish the visual was even worse, lol. I don't know what that means, but okay. Carte Blanche says, the judges must have decided this a long time ago. They were chucking in their little wigs. I mean, this is the thing, right? It's actually quite quick, this decision. Like, usually, when a case is brought before a judge, it usually takes a couple of months at the very least for them to decide on a ruling. But this came pretty quick, like a couple of weeks. So to me, that to me indicates that this thing was a no-brainer for the judges, for the appeal judges to get to the decision that they made, which was, piss off, Hazzy, you're not getting the security that you're looking for. I mean, think about it, right? usually it takes a couple of months at the very least for us to hear a decision on this thing. The UK courts are extremely slow. Extremely slow. But no. This time, they were really, really fast. So that indicates to me only one thing, that yeah, it was a no-brainer for them, and they were able to arrive it pretty quickly, because it was very easy to arrive to the conclusion that Hazard was not going to get this security in the first place. Le Petit Oziu says, by the way, you look wonderful, Steph. Should do this more often. Feels like we're sitting on the other side of the hotel room coffee table. Well, thank you for the compliment. I really appreciate it. This won't happen so often, because it's not like I go on holiday, like, all the time, right, guys? This is quite a rarity. But yeah, I had to put a pause on my holiday to go live and bring you this breaking news. So everyone that's tuning in right now, just to let you know, breaking news in the last hour, it's been announced that Prince Hazard has lost his UK security appeal. He's not getting what he wants. The appeal judges turned around and said that his appeal is being dismissed. In other words, piss off your car bag. You ain't getting the security that you want in. I think they were saying that to Megzy as well, don't you? Susan says, the problem is he cannot say no for an answer because he's a prince. Get lost, traitor. As far as I'm concerned, he is a traitor. Margaret McNeil says, it was the right and most logical decision. Yes. Nina Porter says, great news. It's good that he has to pay out of pocket. Yes, absolutely. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Let's see. Sorry, the YouTube chat just jumped a little bit, so let me just go back. Here we go. Yeah, Stephen Magnus, the big SM in the house. Hey up, big SM. How's it going, mate? Turning around and saying, 16th of April, first day Spain was 100% renewable energy. Their system has no tolerance for surges in demand or generation due to lack of power balance by gas or coal. Yeah, there's no Wi-Fi in this hotel. The electricity and the signal in Spain and, you know, the surrounding territories are quite spotty at best because of what's happened here. So yeah, if there is a little bit of buffering and a bit of a dodgy connection as I'm going live on this thing, I really do apologise. I'm literally live in Gran Canaria right now using my mobile phone internet, linking that to my laptop to be able to go live and bring you this breaking news. So apologies if the connection is a little bit dodgy, but that's what we're working with, guys, so we can only do what we can do, right? Let's see what else you guys are saying. Carol Donaldson says, the fact that the result was unanimous is icing on the cake. I know. They all turned around and said, piss off your cow bag. So Ubernotes 10 says, this isn't over. He can go to the UK Supreme Court, then the European Court of Human Rights. He won't stop. He and Megzy never stop, won't stop ever. Yeah, I said earlier on, I'm going to look into where he can go to next. Because if Hazard can fight more on this thing, I wouldn't put it past him to actually do that, really, in all honesty. Let's just see. I'm just going to go on my phone right now if we've got a reaction from Team Hazard's side. Let's have a look right now. Okay. So it looks like there's no response from Hazard's side at the moment. The full judgment has now been published online. So when I get back on Monday next week, I'll see if John's available, and I'll ask him and see if he wants to do a read through of the full judgment and get his thoughts on it all. But, we've got a summary of what Sir Geoffrey Voss said as he delivered the judgment on behalf of all three appeal judges. The summary of what he said. So Sir Geoffrey Voss called the arguments put forward for Harry as powerful and said it was clear Harry felt badly treated by the system. However, he found there was no legal basis to challenge Ravik's decision to alter Harry's security. Geoffrey Voss said Ravik's chair hadn't followed policy, but the judges found there were reasons why not following policy was the right decision. One of these reasons was the chair's unrivaled expertise and experience in royal protection. In other words, even though the judge turned around and said Ravik, look, didn't follow policy entirely, went along with the Home Office's argument, which was, look, we were facing an extraordinary situation, so we had to come up with an extraordinary solution. That makes a whole ton of freaking sense, right, guys? He added that the Risk Management Board would have nothing to say on the need for security on future uncertain visits. The conclusion, in my judgment, was that the Duke of Sussex appeal would be dismissed, Sir Geoffrey Voss concluded. So, yeah, we all remember his barrister, Shahid Fatima KC, saying that his safety, security and life were at stake and told the judges the human dimension of the case should not be forgotten. Well, do you know what? If he really thinks that his safety, security and life are at stake, then, do you know what? Just don't come to the UK ever again then, Hazza. If he really believes that, then he shouldn't come to UK ever again. I know that I wouldn't be fussed. I'd be overjoyed if he don't set foot in UK again. Americans, you can keep him. You can keep him. We've got enough ginger winchers in the UK. You can keep at least one of ours, that's for certain. Let me just see if there's any other outlet that might be reporting on Prince Harry's response, because there must be a response by now, surely. Let's see if we've got a response. I'm just going to look on Sky News. Let's see. Okay, doesn't look like there's any response yet, but we've got some royal correspondents speaking out. So this is from Sky News. Royal correspondent Rhiannon Mills says today's judgment is an enormous blow for Prince Harry. You have to remember that he deliberately made the choice to fly all the way from America back here to the UK for that 2-day Court of Appeal hearing. A reminder that while he was around for the legal arguments, Prince Harry was not present for today's judgment. She then says he wanted for himself to sit there and hear all of the evidence that was read out, not just in public, but in private. She notes how personal an issue this is for the royal. She says, as with so many of these court cases that he's taken on, he sees this as a real point of principle. He was hoping that it might change things for other people as well as himself. Yeah, because he's that altruistic. Dude's doing it for himself, and more so for Megsy than himself. Okay, what's next for Prince Hazza? Okay, this is also from Sky News. What's next for Prince Hazza after today's ruling? So we've got legal commentator Joshua Rosenberg turning round and saying he will obviously try to consider the question of an appeal to the Supreme Court. Okay, but he explained that you need permission for that. So he says there wasn't an application for permission just now from the Court of Appeal. There might be one in writing. If permission is refused, then Prince Hazza's lawyers could go and ask the Supreme Court for permission. But what the Supreme Court will look at is whether this is a case of general public interest, general public importance. It seems to me it's one of very, very specific importance to Prince Hazza, adding that he wouldn't hold out much hope for an appeal to the Supreme Court. Okay, so what does this mean? So there is potentially a next step for Hazza. This might not be over for him yet, looking at this, but it's more likely that it is over. So he could go to the Supreme Court, but he needs to get permission to go to the Supreme Court on this one. And so he needs to go to the Supreme Court and get permission for the Supreme Court to hear out his case. The thing is, the Supreme Court will really only hear cases that are of general public interest and general public importance. So if his case doesn't tick those two boxes, So if his case is not of general public interest and not of general public importance, then the Supreme Court will turn around and say, piss off, we're not even going to hear it, we're not even going to give it the light of day, you are done. And it looks like, from what this legal commentator is saying, that they're imagining that the Supreme Court, if he did ask for permission for the Supreme Court to hear his case, the Supreme Court is most likely going to turn around and say, no, we're not going to hear your case because it's not of general public interest, it's not of general public importance, because it's a very, very bespoke, very niche case pertaining to an extraordinary situation that has garnered an extraordinary solution that you're fighting against. So yeah, the chances are he can appeal to the Supreme Court and try and get their permission for them to hear it out, but likelihood is they won't, because it's a very, very specific case that's not really of general importance to the public or general interest to the public. Do you know what I mean? Let's put it this way, right? If he won, at the Supreme Court, would it really affect the public in their everyday lives or out like that? No. The only thing it would affect is that we would be paying even more taxpayer money for his security, and that would be it. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. Don't hold your breath when it comes to the Supreme Court. I don't think it's ever going to go there. I really, really don't. I'd be very, very surprised if it does. So, yeah, Uber Notes 10 says, this isn't over. You can go to the UK Supreme Court, just gone through that. Then the European Court of Human Rights, he won't stop. He and Meghan never stop, won't stop ever. This is the thing. So, the ECHR, the European Court of Human Rights, is it a human rights issue? Do you know what? I wouldn't put it past Hazard to try and argue that shit. They are infringing on my human rights for me not to get the security I want to ensure that I am safe in my own home country. Well, guess what? Ain't your own home country anymore, because he turned around on that travel list document last year and said he was a resident in the US. Come on, dude. Come on. Let's see. Mr. G, I love this, says, Meg should have tried to influence the judges by sending some of her jam. Yes. Do you know what? I think if she sent some of her jam, it would have made the judges, like, go even faster to turn around and say, yeah, we're not giving him that security. Do you know what I mean? Guys, if you just wait one moment, I'm just going to get my drink from outside. Just 2 seconds and I'll be back, and I'll be reading more of your comments in the live chat and getting more reactions. So 1 moment, guys. And we're back. Okay, let me think. It'll probably be that one. All right, I'm just going to get a drink because, guys, this is some thirsty work, I'm telling you. Coca-Cola Zero. Not sponsored, but I wouldn't say no. Okay, let's see what else you guys are saying. Okay, so to the question of whether you guys think Hazard should pay for the Home Office legal costs or not, which is essentially taxpayers' money, all right? Let's be real here. So I've turned around and I've said, do you know what? I don't care if he pays it or not. If the judges turn around and say, no, you don't have to pay any of it, I won't be mad at that. Because to me, this is taxpayer money well spent. Fighting Hazard all the way to get to the right conclusion, which is the appeals judges turning around and saying, piss off, you car bag Hazard, you're not getting the security that you want. So if the appeals judges turn around and say, do you know what? You pay your costs and Home Office pay your own costs. To me, I'm Gucci with that. Because it's taxpayer money well spent. But a lot of you guys are saying that he should pay. Rule Ruins saying, yeah, Henry should pay. Julie Mantle Booker says he should pay. Barbara Tilley says Harry should pay 100%. Floss Tycoon saying, lovely accent. Is it Scouser? No, it's Yorkshire. But there you go. Let's see. Le Petit Wasu says, I'm with you. Money well spent to put an end to all this nonsense. Exactly. L. Lee says, I bet Has-Been will be sleeping in the chicken coop tonight after Megs beats him with a frying pan. Yeah, she ain't going to be happy with this, is she? She's not going to be happy with this decision. And as I said earlier on, everyone's going to be turning around and saying, has a lost. But the biggest loser actually in all of this is Megsy, because, yeah, has been pushing for this. Totally fair enough. But who's been pushing it more and harder and bigger? Megsy. Megsy's been pushing for this more. She's the bigger loser in all this as far as I'm concerned. And they've lost millions in legal costs to get to this point. They're stupid. Ribbon for your hair says farewell to future with IPP status. Yahoo. Exactly. For those that don't know, there's this running theory that the real reason Hazo is trying to push for this, and Megsy behind the scenes as far as we're concerned, is to try and get back IPP status, internationally protected person, so that if they got this status back, it means that no matter where they are in the world, the country's taxpayers would have to fund their security. So this is a thing, right? It's not only just a win for the UK taxpayers, it's a win for you guys as well, wherever you're watching in the world. Because if they did somehow win this appeal, they could have got, theoretically, their IPP status back, which means they could visit your country, and you as a taxpayer would have to pay for their security whilst they're there. We don't have to worry about that now, because he lost his appeal. So it's not just a win for the UK taxpayer security. It's not just a win for the UK taxpayer. It's a win for taxpayers literally everywhere in the world, including you that's watching right now. Amazing, right? This is a big, massive win. It's literally a big, massive win for the world. Nina von Gunten says, Stef, are you in the hospital and are you okay? No, I'm not in the hospital. I'm actually on vacation right now in Gran Canaria. I've paused my vacation to go live right now to bring you this breaking news that Prince Harry has lost his appeal for UK taxpayer-funded security. Had a funny feeling this was going to happen whilst I was on holiday, so I brought my mobile studio with me, and lo and behold, yeah, on the final couple of days that I'm here, I was literally on the beach and I was checking my phone because last night I got word that the verdict was going to happen today. And so this afternoon, I'm on the beach, just checking my phone periodically, and then all of a sudden, about 1 o'clock, I get the notification, his verdict's going to be announced in an hour. I'm like, great, I'm there tanning up, being all holiday-like and whatnot. I'm like, okay, fair enough. So I'm literally packing everything away as quick as possible, getting back to the hotel, and here I am in the hotel room in the middle of Gran Canaria, breaking this news for you guys. So if you appreciate this coverage and me interrupting my holiday to do this for you guys, then if you can, please show your appreciation in a variety of ways. You can send me some sugar bucks. Alternatively, like this live stream, subscribe to Stef the Alternate, this channel, so you get to be involved in more breaking news as and when they come, because I'm generally on top of it now, I like to think. So there you go. There are a couple of ways that you can show your appreciation today. I would like to say though that, guys, there's over 1,682 of you watching. If you do agree with this judgment, if you do agree with the appeal court denying Hazard's case and dismissing it, then please hit that like button. I know that 1,906 of you right now have hit that like button approving this live stream, and I can only assume it's because, yes, you are happy that Hazard's lost. So if you are happy that Hazard has lost, then again, hit that like button. Let's see how many more of you out there are agreeing with the appeal judges. Wow, that's just jumped up to 1,926 of you. Let's see how many more of you are agreeing and are happy that Hazard has lost his security case. Wow, that's jumped up to 1,945 of you. Whoo, you guys are going nuts on the like button right now. Thank you so much for that. Wow, 1,973 of you are liking the notion that Hazard has lost his security case. Wow. So you are celebrating just as much as me right now, because right after this live stream, I'm going outside. and I am dancing in the middle of freaking Gran Canaria, celebrating that Hazza has lost. Wow, 1,997 of you are now happy that Hazza has lost. Okay, that's jumped up to 2,019 of you are now happy that Hazza has lost his security case. Keep hitting that like button, guys, and I'll see how many more of you are liking the fact that Hazza has lost his security case. It's just jumped up to 2,036. I'm going to read through a few more of your comments. Let's see what else you guys are doing. Let's see. Stephen Magnus, Big SM, Harry's wasting litigant. He should pay both sides' cost. Okay. Carte Blanche says, I hope his lawyers will be honest enough to tell him to stop with the insanity. They won't. They won't. And do you know why? Because ka-ching, 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 guys. They're getting paid. Do you know what? Opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. I wouldn't be surprised if they're freaking encouraging it, in a way. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, it's his money. He can spend it and waste it however much he wants. Right, guys? As long as he comes to this conclusion where he loses, I'm all right with that. B-Barn says, let those clowns pay for their own ridiculous security. Watch the security caravan shrink down to one vehicle. I know, right? Looking at this, 2,106 of you, wow, have hit that like button, indicating that, yes, you are happy that Harry has lost his security case. Please hit that like button if you are happy that Harry has lost his UK security appeal, and let me know. Stacey SMH123 says, IPP status would have been dangerous in the hands of the gruesome twosome. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Do you know what? If I'm to think about it, if Hazza and Megxie had IPP status all along, oh my goodness, we would have had more fake royal tours. I think we would have. We would have had more fake royal tours. Megxie wouldn't have been able to, resist? Thank goodness we've only had 2, right? Oh, they were awful, right? Great for us Megxiteers, though, us YouTubers, because it gave us a shiz ton of content to give to you guys. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you on that. Do you know what I mean? They just can't resist giving us more content. I mean, oh my goodness. I've been keeping up with the Joneses and shiz the freaking bed. I mean, I'm going a little bit off topic, but please bear with me. Megxie and that podcast appearance on the Jamie Learn Kima podcast, whoever the frick this lass is. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. Right, Megxie, stop. Stop. Please, stop. For the love of everything holy and unholy, stop. No matter what she does, she'll never be liked. Because she's got a likability and a relatability issue. If people don't like and relate to her, then people are never going to like and relate to what she's trying to put out in the first place. She's the freaking bed. Does she not get this? Seriously, she's living in cow cookie land. Anne McDonald says, justice is served and well done. Yeah, justice is well and truly served. Emily Cheatham says, I was happy the Supreme Court clarified on women and bio women, and I'm happy Harry lost this. Great verdicts. Okay, let's see. Crazy Lady says, I hope he has to pay the costs. Fair enough. Like I said, if he has to pay the cost for the Home Office and their legal team, whether it's 100%, 50%, whatever, to me it's just a bonus at that point. I'd be happy for the judges to turn around and say, you know what, you pay for your own costs, Home Office, you pay for your own costs, and I've done with it. Because to me, the Home Office have used taxpayers' money to fight Hazza on this all the way, and for me, it's money well spent, because we've got the outcome that we all wanted. Hazza has lost. He ain't getting the security that he wants. Piss off, you freaking cow bag. Yes. Melinda Sun, thank you so much for the $9.99 sugar bucks. Oh, and it's Mr. Green Blobby says number 1 fan. Oh, well, thank you. Very, very kind of you. Let's see. Ubernotes 10 says, Harry doesn't care. He'll fight this forever. There's always someone somewhere who will pay his bills. Well, As I was saying earlier on, with what I was reading through Sky News, we do have the Supreme Court, but you have to have permission from the Supreme Court for them to hear it in the first place, and it has to be of general public interest and general public kind of consequence. And Hazard's fight on this is very, very particular, very, very niche and very specific. It's not really a general public interest. And so I can't imagine that the Supreme Court will turn around and be like, yeah, we'll hear it. They'll just turn around and say, piss off, hopefully. And then the question of the European Court of Human Rights, I won't put it past Hazard to try and square that circle, to be like, the UK Home Office is infringing on my human rights to blah, 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 blah. But again, hopefully the European Court of Human Rights will turn around and tell them to piss off. And if anything, I'm hoping in the future that we actually exit the European Court of Human Rights. I voted for Brexit. I'm freaking confused as to why the UK is still beholden to the European Court of Human Rights. We have our own judicial system. I'm all right with that. Thank you very much. I don't want a freaking international system like the European Court of Human Rights to determine our destiny and all that lot. Do you know what I mean? We exited Europe for a reason. Let's exit Europe. Do you know what I mean? But if you disagree, not a problem. That's absolutely fine. I respect your thoughts and your beliefs and political what's-its just as much as I hope you'd respect mine. Let's see. Michael Montana, do you know what? You've got a good point here. He says, yes, make him pay all of it. It'll make him think twice about going forward with another case. Maybe, actually. Maybe. That's a good take on that as to why Hazard should just pay all of it anyway. That is a good take. Let's see. Have I missed a super chat? Let's see. Okay. So, I'm going to go through all the sugar books that we've got since this live stream started. I apologise if I've missed anyone. Again, the connection is a little bit dodgy here because of what's been happening in Spain, Portugal and the surrounding territories that we're in at the moment in terms of electricity and the connections and all that lot. So I'm just going to go through it in order. Big massive thanks to Mr. G for becoming a leader. Thank you to Ozian 2025 for gifting a leadership to one of you lucky lots out there. Taz, thank you so much for the $5 sugar book, saying it's a big relief for all of us. And also thanks to Taz for the $2 sugar books with the Ginger Doggy Fighting Arts moment. I appreciate it. Thank you so much to Yusha for the £4.99 sugar book, saying thank you so much for this live stream. The quality is excellent and the news is fantastic. The news is fantastic. And thank you so much for thinking that the quality is excellent. I appreciate it. Sarge, thank you so much for the $5 sugar book, saying shiz the freaking bed, Steph. I know, right? Mic drop Lisa, thank you so much for the £10 sugar book, saying happy 10th birthday, Princess Charlotte. One of the best gifts. I know. Flapper27, thank you so much again for that very generous $20 sugar books. Tony Gunks Gal, thank you so much for being a member for the last 7 months, saying the best news I've heard all week. Isn't going to be happy. Oh, Megsy isn't going to be happy and will send Hazard to the doghouse or maybe the chicken coop. She's got a selection, right? Bonnie Fuller, thank you so much for the $1.99 sugar bucks. Taz, thank you so much for the $5 sugar bucks, saying how many now believe Megsy's having a breakdown? I hear the china plate's breaking. Mr. G, thank you so much for the $20 sugar bucks and your very, very insane generosity with that. Saying greetings from Washington State, USA. Sugar bucks heading your way, Steph. You rock. Well, you rock too, mate. King Bob, thank you so much for the $2 sugar bucks and the Ginger Doggy Fighting Arts moment. Love it. Melinda Sun, thank you so much for the $9.99 sugar bucks with the Mr. Green Blob, saying #1 fan. Oh, thank you, Melinda. Sarge, thank you so much for being a leader for the last 23 months, saying Georgie and Olivia say hi. Hey up, Georgie and Olivia, how's it going? Are they liking this verdict as well, Sarge? Did they approve of Hazza losing big time at the appeal court? Let me know. Ozian 2025, thank you so much for being a leader for 16 months, saying, so happy Stef made my year. You could hear the party from here in Australia. And do you know what? You can definitely hear the party right now here in Gran Canaria, right, guys? Stephen Magnus, Big SM. Thank you so much for the £5 sugar bucks, saying if the appeal court rejects an appeal, there is generally no further appeals. The only thing really would be a rehearing in the Supreme Court. But as I explained earlier on from the legal commentator that I read on Sky News, the Supreme Court, you need to get permission from the Supreme Court to actually get them to hear your case in the first place, and if you don't get that permission, they won't hear it. The only reason why they'll hear your case is if they think it's of general public interest or importance, and it's really not. It's a very, very specific niche case that Hazza would be presented to the Supreme Court, so shouldn't even waste his time or even more money on that, let's put it that way. Taz, thank you so much for the $2 sugar buck, saying take their titles, won't need them in America. Yeah, I've actually seen an article on People where they're turning around and saying they can't take their titles away. It looks like Hazza and Megzy are trying to fight back against all of this, so stay tuned for my coverage next week, because oh my goodness, I've got so many more videos to do for you guys. There's so much that's happened this week that I've got a take on. It is unreal, so stay tuned. Make sure on your way out you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe here on this channel, because oh my goodness, do I have a lot to say when I get back from Gran Canaria next week. Speaking of which, thank you so much to Koala Blues for your $5 sugar buck, saying thanks for interrupting your holiday, Steph. You're very, very welcome. If you appreciate me interrupting my holiday here in Gran Canaria to bring this breaking news to you live, then you can show your appreciation in a variety of ways. You can thumbs up this live stream, especially if you believe that you're happy. If you're happy that Hazza has lost this appeal, then thumbs up this live stream. Subscribe to this channel for more breaking news and more content on the gruesome twosome. And if you can, please send some sugar bucks my way and a little bit of spending money for the last couple of days of Gran Canaria, if you can. If you can, guys. King Bob, though, thank you so much for being a leader for the last 33 months, saying thanks for taking time out of your vacation to bring us this news. Lots of love to you. You're very, very welcome. So, yeah, if I've just gone through all the sugar bucks and all your generosity there, so if I did miss anyone out at the time, I apologise. The connection's a little bit iffy over here, so apologies for that. Jane says, hope you've taken some holiday snaps. Oh, I've done one better. I've been vlogging, guys. Vlogging some of my adventures here at Gran Canaria for me to release every Saturday. So, yeah, every Saturday I try and release a little extra video that's not about Hazza and Megzy, but it's about me. Yes. About me, and yeah, me. No, I'm not a narcissist, not in the slightest. But I thought, you know what? I might as well give you a little peek in my life and what I've been up to and make it a little bit more fun. So, yeah, there are going to be some videos coming up of my adventures here in Gran Canaria. So I'm really looking forward to sharing that with you guys. Let's see. Oh, Cat Blanche says, narcissist Megzy will enjoy being the breadwinner, the poor victim that has to work so much. I know, right, guys? With that being said, I'm going to be streaming for another 5 minutes. And then I'm going to go back to my holiday, guys. I'm going to go back to my holiday in Gran Canaria right here where I'm staying at the moment. So if any of you guys have any last minute comments to put in the live chat, any last minute sugar bucks, if you want to join as a leader or put out a leader only message, then please do so right now. Last 5 minutes until I piss off and enjoy the rest of my holiday, you guys. So yeah, if you guys appreciate me pausing my holiday to go live and break this news to you and give you all the reactions and all the information as it's coming through, then you can show your appreciation in a variety of ways. Please, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe here on this channel. Like this stream if you're happy that Hazza has lost his appeal, and if you can, please do send some sugar bucks my way. I will always welcome a little bit more spending money here in Gran Canaria for my last couple of days. So yeah, you guys, I've actually, let me just, between you and me, right, guys, I've got my eye on a bag. Okay. Let me show you what I'm on about. Give me a moment, guys. Hang on. So, a lot of the stuff that I wear, the majority of the stuff, 99% of the things that I wear and use are real, right? But oh my goodness, in Gran Canaria, I mean, some of it you can tell are proper knockoffs. I mean, let's be real here. But oh my goodness, this, right, is a knockoff of a Jacquemus bag. Now, I've probably butchered that name, but it's really, really beautiful. And I saw the real thing yesterday in Faro, and you can't tell the difference. You really, 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 really can't. And I'm trying to hunt down a black version of this bag. I've got the brown and I've got the white, but I'm hunting down the black version of this bag, and it's only like 25 euros. So if anyone wants to send, if they can, if they want any last minute sugar bucks to help me fund a knockoff Jacquemus bag in black, hey, why not? Go nuts, guys. I'll be honest with you, you know what I mean? So, yeah, there you are. That'll be where some of my Gran Canaria spending money is going to. As I always let you know where the money goes to anyway. I do this for a living, guys. I'm now a full-time YouTuber. So anything I earn from YouTube literally pays my bills, food, electricity, gas, equipment for the studio, equipment for what I'm using right now, my mortgage, everything. But it also includes, going on holiday sometimes and buying things for myself. Do you know what I mean? Again, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I always have been and I always will be. So, yeah, there you go, guys. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Michael Mencher says, fantastic fun, everyone. Be cool and kind all the time. Absolutely, absolutely. Michael Mencher says, fancy with the bag. I know, right? Blue Nose says, guys, I've started to GoFundMe to pay for UK customs to keep Harry out the UK. Please donate. Dude, send me the link. I'll donate to that. Oh, totally. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Jane says, there's so many bag stores in the Canaries, Steph. My friends and family buy loads. I know. The last time I was here, I bought a knockoff Christian Dior bag. And I remember actually, I took a picture with it. And someone messaged saying, stop flaunting your wealth. And I was like, oh, I can see how it can seem that way, but I'm really not. I responded back, I'm like, dude, I'm not. It's a knockoff. I got it from like 20 euros down in Canaries. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, Christine Suckup says, I like your dress. Thank you. Funny story actually about this dress. I actually got it here in the Canary Islands, in Gran Canaria, at Zara, because last time I was here in September, I asked the hotel to iron, to press all my clothes for me, and they ruined one of my dresses, and it did cost a lot, and it was from Zara, and so they were like, right, okay, go to Zara, pick a dress that's of equal value, and we'll pay for it. And so I actually got two dresses that equaled the value of my one dress, and this was one of them. So, yeah, there you go. Funny story with that. Koala Blue says, I'm sure this news has elevated your holiday. Oh, big time. Big freaking time. And I get to be live with you guys as well, having a little bit of fun and celebrating together the fact and the notion that Hazza has freaking lost. Breaking news. Goodbye, Vienna. Game over. Kim Ricci says, Megsy doesn't always get what she wants. Ooh. Wow. Are you saying that because you remember that allegedly Hazza turned around and said Megsy gets what she wants when she was moaning that she wasn't going to get the tiara that she wanted for her wedding? If so, extra nerd points to you. Taz says, thank you for doing this on your holiday. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Jackie says, if you're happy, wave your hand. I'm super happy. Super freaking happy. Um, Maria Fagan says, "Hi Steph, you're awesome." Thank you, Maria. This is great news. Does he have to pay all the legal fees? Well, that's what we're going to find out, I think, next. He'll have to pay all his own legal fees, like, for sure. But when it comes to legal fees on the Home Office side, we don't know yet. We'll find out soon enough. Let's see. Jan K says he can't run away or hide now. He'll face the full force of the Charities Commissions and any other dodgy dealings. Well, yeah. Because, I mean, this is the thing, right? Now this is pretty much over as far as I'm concerned. Sorry, my mouse just fell on the floor. Because now this is over pretty much as far as a lot of us are concerned, I think the next big thing for him to deal with is, the Charity Commission and Centre Barley and everything that's going on there. So there we go. JB Cos says, is she only responding to people who pay money in the chat? No. I've been responding to a lot of you guys, whether you pay money in the chat or not. It's something that I've always done on my live streams for literally since the beginning, guys. Because as far as I'm concerned, those that are able to send some sugar bucks my way. Yes, your chats are guaranteed to be read out, and so I do read them out. But for those that can't do that and just, give normal chats in the live chat, I try and get to as many as possible. The ones that specifically stand out to me, I'll read more often than not. And so, I do a mixture, because you guys that are chatting in the live chat normally, you guys are just as important. You guys are tuning in, taking time out of your busy day to watch me celebrate basically this awesome news that Hazza has lost his appeal. So I appreciate you guys as well taking the time to, choose my live stream, choose this channel to get this breaking news from. So thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. Let's see. Sagan Passion says, you look great and thank you for taking the time to report on your holiday. Oh, thank you. Very, very kind of you. Oh, Summer Savage. Thank you so much for the $9.99 sugar book saying, buy the bag, love you. When I can find it. I'm on the hunt for it right now. But yes, thank you so much, Summer Savage, for contributing to the black knockoff Jacques Mousse bag. Can find it. I'm on the hunt for it. That is for certain. If I can't find it here, then I think I know where I can go, where that I've got a better chance of finding it. So yeah, it's all in hand. Michael mentioned, great live stream, big fan. Thank you. Countess Calthorpe says, I'm bracing for whatever clapback Megsy's planning to take the focus from this and Charlotte's birthday. Yeah. Tell me about it. Let me just double check before I go. I'm just going to double check on my phone right now if we've got any response from Team Hazza. Let's see. Just going to search right now. Let's see. Just having a look to see if there's any response from Team Hazza, because at the moment the silence is pretty deafening. It really, really is, guys. Prince Harry appeal. Let's see what happens here. It doesn't look like there's anything. Let's see. Yeah, there's still no response from Team Hazza. I've just seen in the live chat, someone said, G-Town says, just heard the good news, LOL, a 1.5 million legal bill. Let me see if that's in. 1.5 million legal bill. Let me see. Okay, not exactly. All right, so we've got GB News reporting that Prince Harry may be left with a 1.5 million pound legal bill after the appeal was dismissed. So looking at this, okay, GB News is saying Prince Harry has lost his legal battle for taxpayer-funded armed police protection when in the UK, leaving him potentially liable for £1.5 million in costs. Is there anything more about that, really? Okay, so the Home Secretary is now calling for him to pay all costs for both sides, with the bill approaching £1.5 million. Is there anything else? Okay, so for those that are saying that Hazard has been landed with a £1.5 million legal cost bill, not exactly. The Home Secretary has turned around and said, according to GB News, that Hazard should pay both sides now, which is his side and the Home Office side, which totals 1.5 million. But the judge hasn't ordered that, hasn't forced Hazard to pay that. So again, let's be very clear on this. The judge has not ordered Hazard to pay costs on both sides, totaling a reported £1.5 million. It's just been reported at the moment that the Home Secretary is turning around and saying that now Hazard has lost, he needs to foot the bill for everyone now. He needs to foot the bill not only for his side, but the Home Office side as well, totaling a reported £1.5 million. Now, it's yet to be seen whether the judge will force him to do that or not. But the Home Office Secretary is turning around and saying he needs to pay both sides, totaling £1.5 million. But he's not forced to do that at the moment. We need to wait for the judges on that to see what he has to pay. Is my understanding anyway. La Pintura Bella says, thank you, Lady Justice. This is the just outcome for the people of the UK and the Commonwealth. Congratulations. Yeah, but it's not just the people of the UK and the Commonwealth. As I was explaining earlier on, this is actually a win for everyone in the world. Because if he won this case, then he's a hop, skip and jump away of getting IPP status, which means that anywhere in the world, he would get taxpayer-funded security. So it's not just the UK and the Commonwealth that have won. Wherever you are in the world, you've won as well, because it means that if Hazard and Megxie come to your country, they don't get taxpayer-funded security, or they shouldn't automatically get it anyway. Let's put it that way, you guys. So yeah, it's a big win for everyone in the world. Big win for everyone in the world. Hang on a minute. Turn down the music, please. Apologies for that. Okay, so Teresa Brown says his lawyer must be laughing all the way to the bank. And then some. And then some. Like I said, the biggest winners really in all of this, when it comes to all of his court cases that he's got, is quite literally the lawyers. Because they're going ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. Do you know what I mean? Hammer says he'll be perfectly safe. No one cares about him. And Wayne, this is the thing, right? Every single time he and Megxie have come to the UK since Megxit, from what we know, okay, publicly, has anything gone wrong? No. Has he been in proper danger? No. So it stands to reason that what Ravik have decided and what Ravik are doing for Hazard and Megxie when they come to the UK is fine. Because nothing wrong's happened to them. They've been safe. They've been protected. Everything's done and dusted. You know what I mean? So, yeah, this is done. This is over. Game over for Hazard and Megxie, guys. It's game over for Hazza and Megsy. With that being said, you guys, I'm off. I am going to go back to my holiday, back to Gran Canaria, back to the... Do you know where I'm going to go now? I'm going to go back to the beach. I'm going to go back to the beach, do a little bit more sunbathing, read my book. What book am I reading at the moment? I'm reading the Atlas 6 trilogy, the second book. I can't remember what it's called now. But yeah, it's really, really good. I definitely recommend it. If you love reading if you love reading fiction, this one's really, really good. So yeah, I'm reading the Atlas 6 trilogy. I'm on the second book right now, and I've nearly finished the second book. So I'm looking forward to going back to the beach and finishing off the second book and sunbathing and getting a few more white bits, because yeah, I've got a little bit of a tan. I don't think you guys can tell, but yeah, I've got a bit of a tan, so I want to top that up and try and find the black version to this Jacquemus bag. So there we go. A little bit of shopping as well whilst I'm here. So wherever you are in the world, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been an absolute blast doing this, a celebration. Harry lost. Game freaking over. Best news ever for today. Enjoy yourselves wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all you guys. And until the next time, you guys, laters.